Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Coach Stig Show. This is Coach Stig, and we want to welcome you tonight to 100radiolive.com. We're live. We're talking sports tonight, talk a little Cowboys, talk a little NCAA, college basketball, and how that turned out last night. Also, we, as normal, we also talk youth sports. We like to talk about, youth sports and what the young people are doing. Tonight, I got a co-host. Got my brother on with me here, Harold Finley out of East Texas. He's going to talk sports with us tonight. You there, Harold?
Yeah, I'm right here. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Thanks for joining us. Harold is down there in East Texas in the hotbed of Texas football, good football that they play down there in East Texas. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Coach Stig, and I am the Director of Stiger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports. And, of course, we are currently launching the YASEC program where we're going to plug academics into the youth football schedules. That's what our goal is this upcoming football season. But tonight we're going to talk, even though we had NCAAs last night, we'd like to talk Cowboy football. Now, Harold, I know that you're like myself. You've been following the Cowboys ever since you knew what a football was. So, a lot of us were surprised this past year. What did you think about the Cowboys season last year? Were you happy with how it turned out? What is your assessment of how the Cowboys did last year?
It was a total surprise to me. It was from what the past is. I don't know. They kind of finally done something since Jimmy Johnson left, I should say. Look like Cowboys.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you because I felt like that defense. I loved what they did on defense. I mean, they were fast, and they played with. They had some bad intentions. So I liked what they did on defense, and their slogan for last year was "Finish the fight," and that's what I felt like they did every game. They showed up, and they were fighting.
Oh yeah, they did. They done that the whole year long. Played hard. They played aggressive. Oh well, they tackled. For years they never tackled.
Exactly.
Arm tackling, but this year they actually tackled. I don't know exactly what it was, what liquor fire, but they done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And so, they re-signed Rolando McClain, but only to a 1-year contract.
I don't know what the purpose of that was, other than troubles maybe or injuries, but they did that.
Yeah. I think Rolando. I think one of the things that the NFL teams frown upon is people that just are not totally sold out on the game. I think Rolando quit on was it the Buccaneers and then the Oakland Raiders. He just kind of retired.
Yeah, wasn't he with the Ravens too?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It wasn't the Buccaneers. It was the Ravens. You are right. Yes, sir. You are. Yeah.
He just retired, young age.
Yeah. So I think that's but as you saw last year, if you watching like I was, he's a heck of a player. He was flat. He could flat make some plays last year that just made you drop your mouth open.
Oh, he was drafted high. They knew he was a player from college on. They knew that. He just, whatever reason, he just didn't want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, you never know what's going on in somebody's life. A lot of times, we think that these football players are Superman and, they're invincible and this and that. But, hey, they're people just like we are. Mm-hmm. And, they have their problems and their troubles. Look at Greg Hardy. The Cowboys just signed. The NFL sued the county that he was being tried in for domestic violence to get them to turn over some pictures of the victim because they were trying to get to the bottom of that. And so, these players, they have problems and situations just like anybody else. And just because you make multi-millions of dollars doesn't mean that, you're not going to have no problems,
Oh, yeah, they just regular people and young guys with a bank and a pocket full of money, so that's kind of a rough combination.
Absolutely. Yeah, that can really...
Yeah, and everybody at you, vultures, so they can make you snap.
Yeah. It can really cause some issues because you see it all the time, and that's one reason we want to start up this YASIC program, the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge, because we want to empower football players starting early. Because a lot of these players, they play football all their life. From the time they're 5 or 6 years old, they're playing football, but they never get any of the life's lessons. Sometimes there's nobody to tell them how you study, how do you manage your time, how do you make good decisions versus bad decisions. So, that's why at STIG Youth Development, Texas Superstar Youth Sports, we are just jumping at the bit and can't wait to get this program launched off so that perhaps, down the road here, we can help some of these players develop and be not just football players, but be, a total person. Now, I just want to get your opinion, Harold. And I'm talking with Harold Finley. I'm talking with Harold Finley out of East Texas. He's out of Atlanta, Texas. He's my co-host tonight. And, of course, I'm Coach Stig. And we're here with the Coach Stig Show. We want to say shout out to the Hamilton Park Bobcats. But I was about to ask my guest here, Harold Finley out of East Texas, what did he think in terms of, the development of the football players when they get to the NFL? Did he think that there's some room for improvement?
Oh, there's lots of room for improvement, and actually it's a real good idea because that's actually what they need. Like say, you got thousands of athletes. These guys walking around, better athletes than some of them in the NFL, but they don't have the direction. They don't have that base, that where they can know how to act, or how to deal with their money, or how to study, like say, how to get into college to actually, take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because and I already know, Harold, a D1 scholarship is about $30,000 in this day and time. That's a $30,000 output for a D1 scholarship. So, there's a lot of stake for these players when they're, getting to that point in their life to go off to school. But the problem is a lot of them go off to school, but they have to turn around and come back home because they don't have the skill levels. Yeah.
We have a lot of athletes in this area that does it over and over. And a lot of colleges don't want to take a chance on them because it's an investment.
Absolutely.
They don't stay in school, not prepared to study, not prepared. They don't have high school level of reading and what they need. So I think a lot of that come back to home, parents. You start there, go from there.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I totally agree. And a lot of people feel like, and like myself, being a father yourself, sometimes, and the same thing with coaching, because I know you have coached players. Sometimes the players, they get tired of hearing the coach's voice.
Oh yeah, you get burned out.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to have a different voice for them to listen to. They can get something from because I know you played. You're a 1982 graduate of Atlanta High School.
Yeah, 82.
82. Okay, yeah, 82. And so you know how it is. So sometimes players tune out because like you say, sometimes get a little burnt out. So it's good to have a different voice that kids can get information from. That's what we're going to try to do with the YASIC program, to try to get kids to understand that they can be just as competitive in the classroom as they can be as they are on the football field. Just to be just as competitive. Now, we were talking about Cowboys, and Dallas, where I'm currently broadcasting from here, 100radiolive.com. We want to thank Dirk, the operations manager, the director, the dishwasher, the bottler. He does it all for 100radiolive.com. I want to thank him for making this Coach Stig show possible, that we can broadcast live from here and share our opinions with you, and of course talk Cowboy football. Now, we were talking about Greg Hardy and the issues that he has, and we talked about also Rolando McClain, issues that he's had. Now, one thing that I saw in the paper, I don't know if you saw it, Harold, but DeMarcus Ware, who's currently with the Denver Broncos, he got in trouble on Twitter. Did you see that?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Okay. Well, let me break down. What happened is he went to a restaurant there in Denver, and it so happened that the waiter was a Redskin fan. Okay, and so DeMarcus ended up ringing up about a $92 tab, $92 ticket there in the restaurant, and then he left without tipping the waiter, and then went on to Twitter and bragged that he didn't tip the waiter because the waiter was a Redskin fan.
Oh man!
Can you believe that?
Immature move right there.
Oh man, and Twitter blew up. I mean, the people went up on Twitter and said, "Man, are you kidding me? You know, how dare you do that? That guy's working for $2.13 an hour, and you're not going to tip him because he's a Redskin fan?" So man, they blew him up on Twitter. So I think he learned a lesson on that one.
Oh yeah, like I just say, don't push sin.
Exactly, and I think that's horrible. I mean, whenever I go out to eat, and the people, the wait staff, I always tip 20%. I don't care, even if they don't have the greatest service, because sometimes you just don't have a good day. You know what I'm saying? I've been plenty of times I didn't have a good day.
Definitely, and it even looks worse when you're making millions and you're gonna walk out that tipping.
Yeah,
it seems worse.
Absolutely. I'm like, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. But yeah, I would never tip a waitress or a wait person. No way. Because these people are walking, standing up on their feet. They bring me their food. They're smiling when they don't want to. They're trying to help people. So it ain't no way in the world that I'm not going to tip them. I'm going to go to full 20. People can tip you 10. People, the customer is 10, but I always go 20 no matter what.
Yeah, they got a tough job. Number one, it's a tough job. Not making much money, but you're dealing with the public. It's hard.
Right.
So it's a tough job.
Absolutely. So now this is the hot question that I have, Harold. This is the hot question that I have for you. What do you think about how the Cowboys have done Dez Bryant? Okay, they franchised him. Now he'll be making $12 million. That's what I think the average is on the thing. But he's in the 40% tax bracket, so they're gonna take about half of that before he ever gets started. But I mean, to franchise this guy. And the guy that I saw wearing number 88 last year, this guy played balls to the wall every game. I mean, he did things that was almost humanly impossible. Seemed like the way that he made catches and the way that he played. I mean, what do you think about the Cowboys franchising this guy?
I don't know what they're thinking or why they a player like that. He had the energy for the team, and you see he can play. I mean, they don't catch an athlete like that.
Yeah.
And that's that little deal you have sometimes about the Cowboys or the league period is certain ones or certain players that are really just struggle to get paid.
Yeah.
And they don't. And I never understood that, which, I got my opinion on it, but it don't make sense.
Yeah. It makes you kind of shake your head. Yeah. And, those of us that know Dez Bryant's history, we know that Dez Bryant grew up in Lufkin, Texas. He's an East Texas boy, just like me and you. East Texas boy.
Too far, huh?
Yes, sir.
About 200 miles from me.
Yes, sir.
100-some miles.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. And so I see that East Texas work ethic. We have a work ethic in East Texas. We grew up working. That's what we did. We grew up, from the time you was a kid, you was expected to work.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you even just play ball in East Texas, Friday nights, you got to play.
Yeah.
Everybody playing hard. The whole town is there.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
Good team, bad team, you got to play that team.
Yes, sir.
Big deal in Texas.
Absolutely. Football is king in Texas, but it's the king and queen in East Texas. I'm gonna tell you that right now. People love their high school football. And how can you not love it? I mean, to me, football is like life in a lot of ways, because football puts some challenges in front of you, and you've got to meet those challenges. Because if you don't, things don't have to turn out too well for you. So that's why I really love the game, because it's a lot like life. There's a lot of lessons to be learned.
It's a good game. It teaches you lots of stuff. It teaches you, to knock down, get up, to work hard, work ethic. It teaches you all how to communicate, how to deal with other people, different
Absolutely.
Races. Teach you a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's really a rite of passage for young men. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to frown on football. They got these concussion issues that people are starting to highlight. And I don't know if you saw in the paper the other week, Troy Aikman said that if he had a son, he wouldn't want his son to play football.
A lot of players are saying that. A lot of them say that they did not want to play. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, and that's something. And now you done made millions of dollars. You done made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars playing the game. But okay, I can understand that. But I mean, I think because I got 2 boys, and you got a boy yourself who's coming up, going to be playing here before long, going to be playing tackle football. But see, you got to teach that boy the technique. You got to teach your son how to play the game. You just can't roll him out there.
Oh yeah, you teach him how to tackle, how to use shoulders, how to, you got to teach him.
Yeah, and that's where I'm really going to, coaching now. I help out with the HP Bobcats over here in Dallas, over in Hamilton Park. And that's one of the things that I'm really going to highlight more is the shoulder tackling. And it's really, that's what the Seattle Seahawks do. And what they basically it's rugby tackling. I don't know the last time that you seen a rugby game, but those rugby players, they don't wear no helmets.
No.
So they have to keep their head out of the action, and so a lot of teams, I won't say a lot of teams, but I know that the Seattle Seahawks, and they got a good defense. I mean, they get people on the ground, okay, and they got a good defense, and that's the main focus of their defensive drills is rugby tackling, and I think it's great because, again, it gives a kid the option of not using his head. Because when I was playing the game, when you was playing the game, hey, coach would tell you to stick your hat in there, man. You're supposed to stick your hat in there.
Yeah, put that hat on them, and, that's real dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very dangerous. But that was how the game was taught at that time, and that's what you were expected to do. And you were expected to do that. And so now, did you play for Jack Coleman? Is that right?
Jack Coleman sure did in my junior and senior year.
Now, what kind of coach was Jack Coleman? I mean, he's kind of legendary in some areas down there in East Texas.
Yeah, he coached Billy Sims at Hooks, Texas.
That's right.
Small town.
That's right.
He coached Billy Sims, so that was what they remember him most from.
Right.
He was coached down like Malvern, Arkansas before then, and he won. Then he came to Hooks, and he had Billy Sims, which he won with Billy Sims.
Yeah.
And he ended up coaching in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He won there. Unfortunately, my junior senior year, he had burned out. We
right.
had a talent. Plus, he was a kind of a stern, hard-nosed coach but he 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Right. Right. Yeah.
4 plays, 25, 26, 28, 29. I know him well. Fullback, he run on. His motto: you run it right, you can't stop it. Well, I beg to differ because we standing over there like one night we playing like Hallville, Texas, and it was a coach that used to coach with him, and they over there saying exactly what we fit to run. So wow. We say, Coach, they know what we're running. They saying it. He come everything like practice, running right, they can't stop him. Yeah, they stopped us. yeah, they were stopping us.
Yeah, they filling them gaps. So they're filling them gaps and selling out.
I mean, they do. They knew the play. I mean, if you know, I don't care what. Let you just overpower it.
Right.
They don't stop you.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what a lot of the old school coaches are. I mean, that's where the old school coaches are. They're going to take that. I don't care if that peg is square. They're going to fit it into that round hole. And that's where a lot of the old school coaches are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've never been away. I feel like you have to coach what you got, okay? And, you have to coach what you got. Like, I think it was one coach said about Bear Bryant, he said he could take yours and beat his and take his and beat yours. So.
Yeah. Which I want to say, he ran the ball, but, Atlanta had a lot of speed and athletes. So that's why I say you got to coach what you got.
Yeah.
Wasn't no big guys, a lot of speed, and you wasn't overpower nobody. You had some backs come through there, that still made that corner because they were real good backs, and
right.
But after a while, it burns out. People figure out what you're doing.
Right.
They stop you.
Yeah, if they sell out, they can stop you. If they sell out on it, they can definitely stop you. But the game has really changed, and I didn't get to see Atlanta this past year. I mean, I saw them the year before last, and man, they were running a play every 15 to 20 seconds, Harold. No huddle.
They run that. Line up and go.
And I was just like, I mean, And to think of, the history of rabbit football and what they've done over the years. I mean, I'm happy to see it. I mean, but that's what you have to do to survive as a coach in this day and age, because that 3 yards in a cloud of dust, I don't think that's going to get it.
No, you got too many athletes, and kids are smarter nowadays. They got the internet. They got all kind of ways of they smarter.
Yeah, it's a whole different situation.
You can be a good coach, but the kids are smart. Don't take them long. They want to do it. They catch on to it and they do it.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back with Harold Finley out of Atlanta, Texas. We're talking East Texas football. We're talking Cowboys. We started on Dez Bryant, but sometimes I get off track. We're going to get back on Dez Bryant here in a minute. We'll be right back with you. I'm Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show, 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. Yes, sir. Welcome back. This is Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show on 100radiolive.com. And that what you just heard? That was Dirt Beats. That's right, Dirt Beats. Dirt is the program director and basically the owner of this station, 100radiolive.com. But he's also a music producer. He's a performer. He has his own radio show, which he's about to kick back off here shortly. So we hope to have more information on that. And again, I'm Coach Stig, and I've got on here with me my co-host, Harold Finley out of Atlanta, Texas, the Deep East Texas. That's where Coach Stig hails from as well. Are you there, Harold?
Hey, I'm right here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming on and talking with us and because I know you know football, you know the game, you know East Texas. Before we left, we were talking about Dez Bryant and the Dallas Cowboys and talking about, Dez being franchised and so forth, and how the Cowboys, put that tag on him and didn't give him the big contract. Now, from what you saw this year, what kind of year do you think Dez Bryant had? And the reason I'm asking you that, because some people say, when a player performs and you don't pay him, it sends a message to the other players. So, in your opinion, what kind of year did Dez Bryant have?
Dez had one of the best years of receivers in a long time come through the NFL. He had like a Pro Bowl year. Dez was outstanding. He made Romo look good.
Absolutely.
Because Romo threw some of them same balls been throwing for 11 years, but Dez went and got them.
Yeah.
So, he went and got them. He made him look real good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think because you have to understand, not this past year, but the year before last, Dez Bryant was in a tantrum, uproar, up and down that sideline just about every game because he refused to be a loser. And there was a lot of, that Cowboy team the year before last, they had a losing attitude. I mean, hey, if they didn't win, so what? But this guy, you know what I'm saying? But this guy would work that sideline, man, and he just refused to lose. That's what makes him so valuable, in my opinion.
And who remind you of? Mike Irvin.
Yes, sir.
He had the same attitude.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, let's go. He walk up down everybody's face.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
And Dad's got that same deal.
He got that same.
And they responded.
Absolutely. Yeah, they kind of pushed back at first. They was, hey, man, settle down. No, ain't no settle down.
Yeah, they want him to calm down, but at the same time, the plays he makes is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So now you can open up another can of worms. Now I need to ask you about that catch in that playoff game. Did he catch it?
Oh, that was catch. They going technical, what the book say, but I don't care whether you're in the backyard, whether you on turf, or whether you on gravel. That was a catch.
Yeah, that was one of the most. And see, Harold, let me tell you this. Look at the situation. This is a playoff game. We're going to go home. It's 4th down, and you got to make the play. And, man, this guy refused. I mean, he just was not going to. He was going to catch that ball no matter where it was thrown. I don't care where. He was going to catch the ball. And, see, that's what's so amazing to me was the situation.
And I watched a highlight reel of him down there in Lufkin. He was the same way there in that Lufkin.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All out the ball. He went and got it.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. I've seen those high school highlights. Yeah, I've seen those, and I mean, he wore number 8 down there too, and he was something else. I mean, and he's been playing that way. I mean, he ran into problems. You know what? When he went to Oklahoma State, he was doing the same thing, performing, running back kickoffs and everything, but he got in trouble with that Deion Sanders situation where he thought he had to lie about something when he really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ended up. Yeah. And
senior year, not 1 year. I don't know if it was senior year or not, but he set out that year. Then he went to NFL next year.
Yeah. And it was all over a dinner with Deion Sanders. It was all over, a dinner, and that he said he didn't go to, but he actually did. Anyway, I mean that's ancient history. That's ancient history.
Well, my question is, why do you think the Cowboys don't want to pay him or don't want to sign him to a multi-year contract? I'm not understanding that. Well,
you know what? I think what's happened out there is that that right now the person in charge is Stephen Jones. I think Stephen is more Stephen Jones, and they have another personnel guy out there. I can't think of his name at this time, and I apologize to the audience for that. I can't think of it, but he has another personnel guy out there. But Stephen Jones is running that ship more and more because, Jerry's finna pull that trigger on Johnny Manziel.
Oh, yeah.
Last draft.
That lineman, which ended up being a good choice right now.
Right. So
you got the lineman out of Notre Dame.
Exactly, yeah. So that ended up, when you look at it in retrospect, that looked like that was the right pick and the right thing for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I think Stephen is more of is kind of what you might say he's being more and more, taking more and more power, whereas Jerry was making a lot of decisions. I think Stephen are now, and so now they have they kept doing the same thing that teams like Pittsburgh, New England are doing. And what they're doing is they say, we got a certain amount of money for this slot right here. We're not going to pay no more than that for the slot. If you play this position, this is what we're going to pay you. Because with the teams like Pittsburgh or like New England, they don't care about you in the Pro Bowl, but they won't offer you no contract. They'll let you go. They'll send you off somewhere else, and they'll draft another one.
Yeah. They say their system is what wins.
Yeah.
And they'll plug somebody else in, which, if you got a good system, you can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you have direction, and it looked like the Cowboys this year had a direction. We're going to line up, we're going to block, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to pass it.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. We're going to run the ball. But how? Now, look here. You turn around, you have the Offensive Player of the Year, and then you don't sign him to a contract. So, I guess I'm just dumbfounded. The reason I'm stuttering and stammering. What do you think about the DeMarco Murray departure?
That's one that got me too. I didn't really understand that. And after the fact, Romo saying he would have took a pay cut, but after he gone, I don't understand that one either. It's back to what you were saying. We offer you this. This is what we won't give you because you're a Cowboy.
Right.
And if you don't want that, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you still got to have the players.
Yeah.
You still got to have some playmakers.
Right. You definitely got to have the playmakers because the better players that you have, it makes you a lot better coach when you got great players. Now, they signed Darren McFadden. Now, you know Darren McFadden, right?
Yeah, I remember Darren McFadden.
Now, the joke was, what the joke was? The joke was that when Jerry brought him to Valley Ranch to sign the contract, when he picked up the pen and put the pen to paper to sign the contract, he broke his wrist.
Oh, man. He's been hurt up since he come to the league. I give him but he's on a bad team.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to be good on a bad team, but,
Right.
Still he, hadn't been, which DeMarco had an injury problem, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
He's hurt every year there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he was. But do you think Darren McFadden can tote it 392 times? Now, DeMarco last year toted that rock 392 times.
No, he can't do it because McFadden is not that kind of back, and he runs straight up and small ankles.
Yeah.
So I can't see it.
No, I would almost bet money on that he wouldn't be able to tote that load like that. Now, if it was up to me, I feel like the Cowboys could have found a way to re-sign DeMarco Murray. I think DeMarco Murray was a special back. And
he wanted to stay in Dallas.
Oh yeah, he wanted to stay.
He wanted to be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He sure did, and he was throwing out all kinds of hints and so forth. But again, Stephen Jones. I think it was Stephen Jones. But I think Jerry. Jerry. He falls in love with players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was a Stephen Jones decision to. We're not going to pay a back that amount of money. You slot it for this amount. So we'll bring in somebody, we'll sign somebody, and then they're probably going to draft somebody, probably that kid out of Wisconsin.
There's a lot of backs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backs coming out this year. That's one thing about it. Back's not really a high commodity now in the NFL. They'll get two backs and split the check and go with that, what they try to do now.
Exactly. But see, the thing that I liked about DeMarco is that DeMarco had them defensive backs, and when you get to the fourth quarter, last part of the game, he had them defensive back making the business decisions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. He's big back. And he run hard. He run over you.
Right. Yeah. He finishes. He don't run out of bounds. I can't remember seeing DeMarco Murray run out of bounds. I don't remember that.
No. Pushed out. He didn't run out.
No. He finishes runs, and see, that's what some people don't realize. They watching football, but they don't understand that when you got a back that's punishing that defense like that, you win a lot of games because, like I said, in the last part of the game, people start making business decisions.
And plus, you got a back like that your receiver gonna get single coverage.
Right.
And you single coverage somebody like Dez.
Yeah.
Try to bring somebody over at the last minute.
Yeah.
He gonna eat you alive.
Yeah. You don't have a choice.
Single coverage. And Dez a block.
Yeah.
Block.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah.
He do it all.
Yeah, he does it all. And we don't talk much about the kid, the number 83. The kid, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank on him. He went to W.T. White High School right here in Dallas. He went to W.T. White High School.
Williams.
Yeah, Williams. Yeah. And I mean, he can hurt you too. So.
Oh yeah, he good.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely good.
Yeah, he's transferred. So the Cowboys got a good look. I just wish that they had bit the bullet on DeMarco because I feel like with this blocking scheme that the Cowboys have, kind of a zone block. I mean, DeMarco was just so excellent in finding them seams in the backside of that offensive line after they had, they done pushed everybody one way. He finds that seam in that backside. I mean, he was really good at that. But maybe they'll find another back that can do that. I hope so.
Yeah, they should, but it ain't gonna be a DeMarco, I think.
No, I mean 392 times. And, I watched Stephen A. Smith was saying that the Cowboys really were trying to use DeMarco up on purpose. They didn't have no intention of signing him. Did you see that?
I saw that. He's saying, that they done it that nobody else wouldn't want him. On top of that, all them carries and with his history, and he would sign what they wanted him to sign if he did come back.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, I'm like... But then, like they said, he had Darren Woodson on that show with him as well, and Darren was saying that, hey, in the NFL, it's business. There ain't no loyalty in the NFL.
I was just say, when it comes to money, I mean, I don't be surprised if nothing to happen when it comes to money.
Absolutely. I mean, it's they make business decisions all the time. But I really, don't like the Dez Bryant situation and the franchising guy. I mean, I think that guy earned his contract. I mean, because, Harry, you have to understand, he was playing in a contract year. I mean, he was playing for 1.6 last year, and in the last year of his contract. Now, do you remember what was the kid, Deshaun Jackson? Do you remember when he was in the? Do you remember what he did when he was in the contract year?
Walking, pouting, walking on the field.
Injured? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, oops, my hamstring. Oops,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but no, not Dez Bryant. I mean, this guy played lights out every week.
Dez was playing to win the Super Bowl.
Every week. So, I think the guy earned his money, and I hate that you go out and perform like that, and then they franchise you. I mean, and whereas at the same time, Tony Romo, who, he had a good year this year, but that was because they pulled back on him and leaned more on DeMarco. But, I mean, he's $100 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romo, he's been there 11, 12 years. This is the first time that he really, showed me something. I'm a Cowboys fan. I wasn't a Romo fan and wasn't a fan of Jerry's decision-making when it comes to football.
Right.
Just a money maker.
Right.
So, look like somebody else is calling the shots kind of now, because you can just tell the difference, and they make decisions at least.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, some of the things, it just baffles you and puzzles you. But what we're going to do, we're going to take another break real quick. We're going to come back because I want to talk to Harold about one of my favorite players, Everson Walls of the Dallas Cowboys, he's being elected to the Texas State Hall of Fame. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. This is Coach Stig on the Coach Stig Show. This is 100RadioLive.com. I've got my co-host here, my brother out of East Texas, Harold Finley, and we talking Cowboys football, and we'll talk about anything. You can call us up, as a matter of fact, if you'd like, 214-494-9064. We'll be right back. Keeping it 100. Giving 100% and keeping it 100. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's that Dirt Beats. Woo. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of match in here. That's that Dirt Beats. DirtBeats.com. Check out the blog. We got music over there, free music you can download. Dirt in the Streets TV. That's right, there's got a TV show too, the radio station. I mean, the man works 24/7. Hey, we appreciate you. I'm Coach Stig. I want to welcome you to the Coach Stig Show. Got my co-host here tonight, my brother, my little brother, Harold Finley out of East Texas. We talking football. We talking Cowboy football. We talking Dez Bryant. We talking DeMarco Murray. And since we're on that Cowboy topic, Harold, do you remember Everson Walls?
Oh, yeah, it was one of the greatest players ever come through the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Did you know that Everson Walls is from Hamilton Park, Texas?
Now, I knew he was from that area. Sure was right there. Dallas bred, raised.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he went to Berkner High School, which is the Richardson School District, Berkner High School. Mm-hmm. But he's straight up out of Hamilton Park, Texas. And, we're proudly affiliated with the Hamilton Park Bobcats. We want to throw a shout-out to Coach Tavar Watson and the coaching staff over there. They do a tremendous job working with the kids in the community. I mean, Coach Tavar is, he walks on water over there. He's doing a great job. That's how good he is over there. But, yeah, Everson Walls is being inducted into the Texas State Hall of Fame. Now, Harold, you tell me, because I don't know, but you tell me, how come Everson Walls is not in the NFL Hall of Fame?
No, they didn't even mention him. I don't understand that at all. He made play after play, year after year, didn't get hurt. He played season after season. I mean, he was one reason the Cowboys were winning like they was winning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's just a solid player.
Yeah.
Wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but he made plays, and that's what you want, somebody to make plays.
Absolutely. You know what? He had 57 interceptions, and there's only two players that have led the NFL 3 years in a row in interceptions. You know who that other player is?
Would it be, I don't know.
Ed Reed.
Oh, man, Ed Reed.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking Dion, but Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. Yes, sir, Ed Reed.
They don't even mention him in the Hall of Fame.
Now, you know Ed Reed going in first ballot. You already know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll go in first ballot. But Everson Walls can't get in. Now, to me...
I heard or read once that it's like they don't want to put that many Cowboys in there and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how true that is, that part of it or what.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be something because Everson Walls is the same situation as Drew Pearson. Everson Walls is a free agent out of Grambling State University. A free agent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay? And now this is the kicker. His first 3 years in the NFL, he led the league in interceptions first 3 years. But guess what? His senior year at Grambling, he led the nation in interceptions.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me?
Ball hawk there.
Are you kidding me?
Ball hawk.
Yeah, so that can't be an accident. Yeah. Can that be an accident?
No, he know he's gonna be around that ball. He know how to cut. He know how to turn. He know.
Right.
He knew how to go to that ball.
Great hips. You got great hips, these cornerbacks. Mm-hmm. And see, a lot of the smart cornerbacks, they make it look like they're beat. They make it, the quarterback look and say, yeah, he beat. See, they make it look like they're beat, and then they close on it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
everybody don't have that closing speed. Some
right.
can run, but to go from here to there right now,
right.
That's the difference in the one that do that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
They accelerate right now.
Absolutely. And now, Everson was not a small guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty good sized fella, pretty good sized guy.
Yeah.
And he could
play.
Yeah. He could very easily play today. He could play today, no doubt about it whatsoever.
Oh yeah. That's what they look for now. Big cornerback.
Right.
That can run.
Absolutely. That's what they're looking for today.
Cover. I said, now if they run, they can cover.
Cover. Right. Mm-hmm. Because if you got good technique, you don't have to be the fastest. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because the great corner is not going to let you off of the line. I'm not going to let you just come off the line and run your pattern. I'm going to make you work that thing. I'm going to make you work to run that pattern. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when you start coaching defense. You know, you got these teams down that's lining up out of no huddle. I'm just going to line up, back up, and let you run your pattern. Well, yeah, quite naturally, you're going to beat my brains out.
You beat them to that spot.
Right.
You got to know. You know football. You know the cuts. You know that certain, patterns they're going to run. You just beat them to them. You beat them that spot.
Right.
Or get there at the same time they do. Get the ball.
Absolutely. And that's where the film study comes in. Sitting down, looking at the tendencies, and understanding who you're playing and what they like to do. And then once you figure out what they like to do, that's what you stop them from doing. That's basically what it boils down to, you know. So, now another thing that I don't know if you knew about Everson Walls or not, but Everson Walls donated one of his kidneys to Warren Springs before he passed away.
Yeah, I kept up with that story. That was a story.
Wow. Wow. And that's something?
That's how close they were. They were teammates.
Wow, yeah.
They were close.
Yeah. That's the ultimate teammate right there. To give you give you an organ? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's your ultimate teammate right there. And that says something else about the man. You know, that says something about the man himself, outside of being a great football player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, who is your personal for yourself, who is your favorite of all time Dallas Cowboy?
Man, it's a lot of them.
That's a tough question.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
From Dorset to,
man,
you got, it's on and on.
Man,
Ed Jones, you got
Harvey Martin. God almighty. Harvey Martin.
And it goes on and on. Cliff Harris, he's a player.
Yeah.
And, it goes on and on.
Yeah, it's just, but myself.
Randy.
Yeah. Who's that?
Randy, the master.
Randy White. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Cowboys were built on great players, star players. And, my favorite all time, Michael Irvin. But, boy, that other number 88 right now, boy, he's pushing it. He's pushing.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, they're almost one and the same. They're almost Siamese twins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of same players.
Yeah. A guy that is going to give you everything they got and then some.
Mm-hmm. Is this faster than him? He's probably faster, huh?
Yeah, he's faster and bigger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he's a bigger, faster version. So, that's a combination out this world.
Right. Yeah,
he ain't gonna do him. He'll do him get better.
Yeah. He'll get better because and if this is the thing about it, I can imagine how it could be. I can't imagine what it's like. But can you imagine growing up in East Texas, Lufkin, Texas, idolizing the Cowboys, loving the Cowboys like we do. We grow up Cowboy fans, and then suiting up and playing for the Cowboys.
Yeah, actually playing.
Playing for the Cowboys.
That little contract there probably hurt his feeling, and that's probably gonna be there.
Yeah.
They really just take care of him.
Right.
It's still gonna be there. So
yeah,
I can't see why it wouldn't.
But I think what Jerry does, and I think because if you notice with people like Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, I think he hooks them up with personal services contracts. So I think he's probably pulled Dez over to the side and say, Dez, you only going to play football for so long, but you can walk around here being a Dallas Cowboy for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because Drew Pearson and a lot of Cowboys, they make personal appearances on behalf of the Cowboys at corporations all around the area, in the country for that matter.
Well, you see where, like, play 2 or 3 teams, but Cowboys where everybody associated man because he's part of that family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, a lot of the times, we think a player is mad, but see that because you can only play the NFL. That's what NFL stands for, not for long. See.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
But if you handle your business right, you can walk around as a Dallas Cowboy for the next 30 years, and that's, making a money off of your name.
Making money.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about. Huh? What's that?
Yeah, I guess they looking at that part, Cowboy America's team and the and the team that's the valued the most in the league. So they looking at all that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to weigh all of that and take all of that into consideration, because Emmitt Smith right now has a real estate company. Now Roger Staubach opened up his Staubach realty company. I think he sold it for, I forget how many. I think it might have been I forget how many hundreds of millions of dollars that he sold it for. But as a matter of fact, Dirt works with a company that Emmitt Smith is their realtor. He's trying to move them into a new building over off of Dallas Parkway, and they moving in, under Smith Realty, which is Emmitt Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the players today, they make their money after the game. But back in the early NFL, players had jobs in the off season. Because they weren't making but $15,000 or $16,000 a year.
Yeah, they had to work on all season.
Yeah. Working for Coca-Cola, or working for, in Roger Staubach's case, he was working for the, what's the big realty, Trammell Crow. That's how he learned the real estate business. Working under Trammell Crow in the off season.
Man, it changed a whole lot. They signing bonuses, and now they sign out and beating out overnight.
Yeah, just overnight. And but you know what? A lot of these players, and I think it's pretty much a small player. A lot of these players, they in the locker room with a multi-million-dollar player, but none of them, they never see that. They play in the NFL 3 or 4 years, and the next thing you know, they're working, a regular job. Some guys at Home Depot and other places.
The one that they can market and come out, them one they make the money.
Right.
The one that make NFL money.
Right.
They pay them. The rest of them don't. They don't make no money.
Right. No, they don't really make that much money.
A lot of people think that. A lot of mine. I know I listened to a show once with Sap, and he was like, everybody's taking all this money. He said that money they put there, we don't get all that money. You got incentives, you got this, you got taxes. As soon as you get the money, you got an aunt that got counseling, you got this, and he said, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You see that money that amount they say they get, but he said you don't get that money. You don't see all that money.
Exactly. Sap really told the truth on it, because did he file bankruptcy, I think, last year? I think it's on, filed bankruptcy.
I read something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And, he tells the truth. And that's really what the NFL, the NFL is really a non-profit organization. If you didn't know it or not, NFL is a non-profit organization.
Yeah, some senator was questioning, looking into that. I know a couple months ago, I ain't heard nothing else about it.
Right, yeah.
I was wondering why they, making all this money and none, which one was, or what senator was, vital question, looking into it.
Yeah, exactly. And so what they do is, this is what they do, they hype everything up, they hype up the contracts, and that's what keeps people, involved and hyped into the games, because, I'm going out to watch my $100 million player, or, it's $100 million. But a lot of those contracts are backloaded. Welcome back. Had a little technical difficulties there. This is Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show, and we're talking Cowboy football with our co-host here tonight, Harold Finley out of East Texas. And we had a little technical difficulty. We had him on the phone here, and we lost him, so we're just trying to get him back on the phone. We were talking in regards to Everson Walls being inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. So, of course, we want to congratulate him for that. And we'll try to get Harold back on the line here with us and make sure we can finish the show up properly with him. And but anyway, this is, again, 100 Radio Live, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. And we want to invite you to tune into the Coach Stig Show whenever you can. And we're trying to get Harold back on. Are you there, Harold?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, we're sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. It dropped you off there. And so we'll get back on here again. Can you hear us all right? Okay, you there? Okay, good deal, super deal. Well, we're about to wrap the show up anyway. We were talking there about Everson Walls and yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. This is live radio, folks. So that's what it is. What it is. Can you hear me, Harold? Awesome. Okay, good deal. Well, and like I said, we're going to go ahead here and wrap up. But before I wanted to get up, I just wanted to get you to talk a little bit, Harold, about East Texas football, Atlanta Rabbits, just anything you want to talk about in terms of how the last year's season went, and what Rabbit football might look like this upcoming year.
Well, this past year had a real good season, had a good system. You tell the coaches, I guess it's his fifth year, and you tell the system is in, they get stronger, and learning football.
You know how to use this speed and the talent he has, so it looks real good. They got to get another quarterback. They had a real good quarterback that Chase Musgrove that was real good.
Right.
He ended up, I think, playing baseball somewhere.
Oh, all right.
And but next year looks good.
I was just asking you real quick, who might be giving them the most competition this upcoming year?
I'm not sure, because most teams in that
Stay in is good. They in with Tatum and Spring Hill and Cousin Grove and who's in that district. They just changed last year.
Yeah.
So it's in Gladewater.
Yeah.
So they in a tough district. So nobody really weak.
Yeah, that Gladewater, they had a running back last year. I've never seen a running back that big.
They get a good quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, that running back that...
You hear?
Let me see here. I think we got... Yeah, here we are. Yeah, that running back that Gladewater had last year, I don't think I've ever seen a running back that big.
But Atlanta, they got good. Like I said, the coach, he got a system in. You can tell that he's getting a lot better. I talked to him once, and I see it. He said they started to get my program in.
Right. Absolutely.
One thing I noticed, too, over the years, Atlanta had lots of speed.
Right.
This year's track team is good again. They come back around. They won a track meet in Longview this past week. I read. I had to get a chance to go. But
okay.
They won that track meet. You know, they run in Longview. It won't be most 5A. And the week before, they was down in Lufkin. Actually, and down at theirs, because they got 4 with all 5As running.
Wow. They got fourth.
The track team good. The football be that much better. It's all been like 2 years.
Absolutely. That 2003 team, weren't they the state champion 4x4?
Oh, yeah. The
4x1?
And the running back, linebacker was the fitness state champion in the relays, and that's who was in the secondary, so ain't nowhere getting around, ain't nowhere running around, ain't nowhere to go.
No, absolutely.
Track stars that could tackle. That's a compliment.
Absolutely. And boy, I remember that team, that 2003 team. I mean, people in that those receivers feared for their safety running around in that secondary back there. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. They knew that. Find a place to lay down. Cause he wasn't going to run them.
No, he wasn't going to run them. And
they did that. They did that with that same kind of coach that set in his ways, gonna run the ball. So he basically, he had so much talent that he could win anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Harold, we really appreciate you coming on and co-hosting with us. And I mean, it was fabulous. And we're gonna wrap it up. Oh yeah, I enjoyed you. Definitely. We're gonna have you back. Like I told you during the break, you better be careful because you'll end up being my regular co-host if you're not careful. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah. Talking them rabbits and cowboys anytime.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'm Coach Stig, and this is the Coach Stig Show. We hope that you'll